It's not investing per se is the problem. It's the way we are going about investing our money as individuals for a topic such as money, which consumes what 90% of your decisions often is made with money in mind. When we think about your faith, when we think about your relationships, your marriage, your kids, your family and friends, when we think about your health, and when we think about your money, why on earth would you delegate any of these four major topics in your life? Why on earth would you delegate 100% of it? I can understand if you delegate 20, 30%. But what's happening is a lot of W-2 earners today that are dedicating 100% of their investment decisions to Joe Schmo down the block or to some guru online or some financial professional. And I'm telling you, it's not working. It literally is not working. So the solution is, what if I first discovered what my purpose is in life and I pursue that and then invest my excess cash flow in the direction of my purpose. So when it comes to living out this purpose, you and I will strategize together on the whiteboard, on coaching calls together, and we figure out, okay, George, how much does it cost to live that lifestyle? Blah, 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 blah. We figure it out. And I say, okay, you're in the tech industry. So what is going on in the tech industry? What's happening? What information are you exposed to that the vast majority is not exposed to? And how do you capitalize on that opportunity? So now, instead of diversifying your money in industries you have no idea of, now you're getting narrow, putting your money in a specific industry under specific kinds of tax advantage accounts, and it supplies your lifestyle. So now it creates cash flow that complements the lifestyle that you want to live according to your purpose in life. So now it's not about, I need to accumulate $1 million in a separate account over here, or $5 million or $10 million, and then distribute money over a long period of time. It's no longer about that. The game today that every W-2 earner needs to be focusing their time, energy, and focus on when it comes to our money, especially believers, we need to correlate purpose and cash flow in the same lane. So as a believer, as a man of faith, we're led by the Holy Spirit, we're led by the Father, Jesus Christ, and He shares His will over our life. He reveals our purpose to us individually. We have our overall mandate as believers, right? Go spread the gospel, spread the good news, evangelize, discipleship, go to church, build the church. Then there's individual purposes that are assigned to each and every one of us. And then we have those skills, gifts, and talents. Take those skills, gifts, and talents, pursue the purpose. You get paid abundantly in the marketplace because now you're standing out, you're helping, you're serving at a high level, and then you double down on that industry. I know a nurse, phenomenal woman, perfect example. This nurse is a mom, married, and she'd been a nurse for over 20 plus years. That's her career. Then she built a business that serves nurses. She created different kinds of products that nurses can use while they're on the job, and created this whole community because she understands the workload that a nurse has to go through. And then to double down, this mom that's a nurse that has all this experience, she can take that 20, 30 years of experience and knowledge and maybe get paid to be a speaker, to speak to up and coming nurses at certain universities that might pay her a few $1,000s to do a keynote. Then that mom could create a curriculum that nurses in this state, that state, this state, that state have to follow. Or maybe she invents another product. Maybe she creates a community. Maybe she creates a nonprofit that awards grant money to other, I mean, we can just go on and on and on and on and on. And that mom never had to buy the S&P 500. She never had to buy cryptocurrencies if she didn't want to. She never had to buy real estate if she never wanted to. She does, right? But let's like, we don't have to rely on the sexy stuff in the finance space that we think that's where we get all the rate of return. It's like oftentimes it's right in front of you, and it's actually a hell of a lot easier Because when you know and understand an industry, you're not going to freak out when there's this. You're not going to sell when it's low and buy when it's high. You're actually going to be very, very well versed in that industry and know how to proceed from there. So investing according to your purpose slash lifestyle that creates cash flow is a framework that is building on all of these things that we've addressed so far. And like I said, once I started becoming a member and affiliate everywhere I shopped, I was making thousands of dollars, just talking about where I shop and who I do business with and why. And then there's testimonies, and then there's Google reviews, and then there's, it just keeps going. And to give you an example, I'll share my screen. On my website, I have a resources page. So literally, I make thousands of dollars every single year. This little tab right here called resources. People go to my website, they see the resources, some people click on it, they'll scroll down and they see all these different links. Every single one of these links leads to a service that I have personally used in my life. And there's even a couple more services down here. And over the years, I've just added to these things over and over again. So these are all services that I have used, will use, and continue to use. And the truth of the matter is, many of you will, at some point in your life, it's not even a might, you will use some of these services in your life. It just might not be through me. You might eventually find it through someone else. Well, my job as the customer is to shout to the rooftops so that I can capture someone like yourself and say, hey, support this business with me. You're going to get a discount. I'm going to get a discount. We all win. All right. So something simple like that, as you saw, it was nothing crazy. I'm literally just like, here's the name of the business, of the product, a little sentence, people click, people buy, and then I get paid. I then take that money, I steward it, and what do you think I'm doing with that money, right? I'm parking that money in high yield savings. I'm running it through my lifestyle hacking process with my credit cards. I'm taking that money and investing it back into the business, back into what works, not what I think is going to work. I put my money where it's currently working in my life, and I just keep compounding that over time. Lastly is build relationship capital. This is one of the things I'm like blown away by. Not that I've made, well, no, that's a lie. I've made so much money off of this, building relationship capital. What does that look like? That's an intentional way for you to find people in your life that you resonate with, that you genuinely want to build a relationship, whether it conducts in business or not. Prime example, I'm going to mention Travis Peters. So Travis Peters is a guy who loves the Lord. He's got a YouTube channel just like me. He's a content creator just like me, man of God. And I stumbled across his videos a couple years ago. Then I start watching. I'm like, wow, this guy's giving a ton of value. Let me keep watching. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can check him out, right? So this is what Travis looks like. Many of you already know him, but on my side of the community, Finance Geek community, you may not have known him. He's only debuted on my channel like twice, 2 or 3 times so far. But he's got some phenomenal videos that I genuinely learn from, and I get value. And I take the value that he gives and I go apply it in my life. He's got 773 public service videos that has served tens of thousands of people, let's just say. So here's a guy I'm watching from a distance. Then eventually I reach out. I'm like, hey man, love what you're doing. Let me see if I can find the original message I sent him. I want to say I DM'd him on Instagram. Here's what I said. I said, hello, sir. I found your YouTube channel recently. I'm also a fellow YouTuber. You can check out my work here. I would like to have a conversation with you and discuss the possibility of a collaboration on YouTube and also discuss matters of the kingdom. That was April 30th, 2022. Some main topics I would like to discuss with you is ecclesiastical law, building kingdom commonwealth, syndication, and asset acquisition in the kingdom. I didn't get a response initially. Then I reached out again but this was in 2024. This is almost 2 years later. So I've been following him since 2022, and I want to say between Instagram and there was definitely another platform that I reached out to him on to have a conversation. And I don't know, it definitely wasn't Instagram because he didn't respond in here, but I think it was maybe his email or LinkedIn or something like that. And what I ended up doing was I joined his program. So I started going to his Increase Academy classes, started showing up, started asking questions. Eventually, he noticed me, right? Because when you're working with someone or trying to get someone's attention like a Travis, it's not like I'm showing up to his house, right? Knocking on his door and asking for his attention. I'm not within travel distance necessarily to him. So I have to be creative in terms of how I can get his attention. Say, hey, I think I'd love to have you on my channel. And once I made that offer, then he came on my channel and poured a ton of value, and then we hit it off. We had more conversations in between that. Before you know it, he's like, hey, I want you to engage with my community a little bit more and share some of the things that you're doing with your community. And then here we are now, 3, 4 weeks in, and it's been pretty awesome so far.
I help moms, women build wealthy kingdoms that will last forever, to have authority over their finances by helping them pay off debt, increase cash flow, lower your expenses, build your credit, all using your own income.